Glad you can join us here for this round table at the GIS, and we're very privileged today to be talking to some specialists in an area Grenada certainly wants to develop to its fullest capacity. You might have heard in the news that the Ministry of Agriculture has undertaken a project aimed at developing an integrated approach to water resource management in the country. It's been funded by the Canadian International Development Agency, CIDA. And with me to discuss about the project and to give you an insight into the project, we have two goodly gentlemen. We'll be joined by a third a little later in the program. But I think it may be easier for me to ask these two gentlemen, one from Serbia and one from Canada, to properly pronounce their name, because I think I may do it some injustice. So we're going to start with our dear friend from Serbia.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Dejan Lekic, when I pronounce that as we are pronouncing it back in my country. But I'm also known in the region like Dejan, Lekic, which is the easiest name to pronounce my name in English language.
Right, and his background, he is a developer of National Water Information System, and he's doing that for Grenada, but he has worked in the region. And our second friend here is from McGill University in Canada, and it will make sense if I say, could you help me pronounce your name properly?
My name is Apurva Gollamudi.
That's correct. And I'm sure you will take a little time to get it right, but I'm sure you'll get it right at the end of the day. Gentlemen, a privilege to have you, and perhaps you can start with you. Help us to get an appreciation and a sense of direction. What is this project all about?
Well, the project is called the Caribbean Water Initiative, and it was launched about 2 years ago in February 2007 in Barbados, and it has been implemented as a joint collaborative project by McGill University in Canada and the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology in Barbados. And we have 3 national partners. Grenada is one of them, and the other 2 are Jamaica and Guyana.
We heard the Ministry of Agriculture talking about an integrated water management system. Give us some specifics and details as to how that is achievable.
One of the main objectives of this project of the Caribbean Water Initiative is to help national governments effectively manage their water resources. And by effective management, it includes all the various aspects of water management, be it water quality, water quantity monitoring, precipitation, flood forecasting, health and sanitation issues, as well as looking at aspects such as the role of gender in water management.
Well, Lekic, you are the information specialist in terms of developing information system for Grenada. And what's the relevance of this to what he has just said?
Yes, this is a very important, I can almost say, key component, core component of the whole thing. Actually, we tried, and I hope that we manage it, to create a software that is capable of managing all the water-related data in the island. So from data related directly to the water, like stream flow discharges, like water levels, then the data about coming from the meteorological part of measurement, let's say air temperature, humidity and this kind of things, to water quality data as well, including the capabilities of the application to show the data in the form of geographic information system, meaning you are actually accessing the data using maps. And all this is developed using state-of-art technology available today only in some selected countries around the world, using web technologies. So actually all the citizens of this country, including the bodies that are making decisions, like governmental bodies, will be able to access this data in appropriate form using web-based technologies.
Well, you're not going to be here with us permanently. I don't think you'll leave Serbia and want to stay in Grenada permanently.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, I told that many times to my friends here in the region, that every time I come here, I'm asking myself if that's the last time I'm here. But somehow I'm coming again and again, so you never know.
But you are transferring the skills that you have. Grenadians are going to be the ones who are going to be running the system when you leave. So is there a skill transfer?
Actually, that's the most important thing and the most important reason why I'm here. Because I could, since we are talking here about web technologies, I could do everything from home. but the main idea of my mission to Grenada was actually to train the people here and transfer the knowledge and technology as much as possible during one week of stay in Grenada. And I think that we had a very successful trainings during these couple of days. Of course, we tried to tailor the training so that each particular group of users can get the right amount of training in the right direction of training. So I really hope that people of Grenada and especially employees of the Ministry of Agriculture will be capable of maintaining the system in the future and even developing it, because that's also important for me as well as for them.
And your observation, enthusiasm running, the adrenaline to learn and to maybe impart what you are hoping that you will accumulate?
I will tell you my general opinion. Every single time I come to the Caribbean region, at the beginning, during the first day, people are a little bit afraid of me. I don't know why is that, but after a while, after making a few jokes, after relaxing a little bit with them, having a lunch together, the things are starting to move. So today, at my last day of my mission, I can say that I feel that there are a lot of young people here that are ready to learn, that are ready to maintain the system, that are ready to actually be better than I am at this moment, which is the most important thing.
That's a good challenge.
Yeah.
And if I go back to you, Apurva, clearly you, like Lekic, will not be here permanently. So who are you working with to ensure, look, this thing is initiated, it has taken off, but we have to have a tomorrow. So are you coordinating with any skills transfer?
Well, as Dejan mentioned, this week we have organized a training program to transfer a lot of the skills of him and our other consultant to the people of Grenada, and we have about 20 to 25 participants at this workshop. And our lead partner in Grenada is the Ministry of Agriculture's Land Use Unit, and I have to acknowledge Mr. Trevor Thompson's participation and his great enthusiasm in helping us and in getting things moving on the ground here, because with people living in Canada and Serbia, you actually need somebody here who is dynamic to get things moving, and he did a great job.
Grenada is investing again in agriculture, and certainly as we know it now, we need to be technology, we need to use the technology as much as possible. The water management that the minister spoke about, and I'm supposing the ministry is trying to get on hand, that is what could be a driving force to take agriculture to another level.
Oh, definitely. And I think more and more technology needs to be incorporated into making management decisions and in day-to-day decision making. And a system such as the National Water Information System, in conjunction with field instrumentation and continuous monitoring, will aid and assist in making effective decisions and integrated water management.
Testing of Grenada's water is part of that program, and if so, have you done it? Have you done some of it, and what is the quality, the assessment of your analysis?
Well, we haven't conducted any water quality testing ourselves in part of the project, but the training has been imparted. We had a course last year in Barbados with a few Grenadians participating from NAWASA as well as the Ministry of Agriculture, and they learned hands-on on how to use some of these water quality instruments and conduct tests and analyze the tests and interpret the results. So the training has been imparted, and it is up to the agencies here now to take that forward.
How expensive is this program?
The project is a 6-year project for $1 million Canadian dollars, and there are also in-kind contributions which really cannot be quantified.
And you said 6 years. What stage are we at?
It was launched in end of 2006. We're about at the halfway stage now.
And if you were to be, let's say the target was getting to a mile, what is your thoughts on where we are right now?
Well, if one looks at the initial project proposal and the targets outlined, I think we have, at this stage, really overachieved. We have done a lot more than we said we would when we initially set out in terms of providing training and the number of people that we had hoped to train. We have already exceeded that number. We have also provided systems in terms of hardware, stream gauging equipment, rain gauges, as well as water quality monitoring equipment. And over the next 2 or 3 years, we hope to involve local communities in terms of developing community water strategies, and also a regional gender and water strategy, or a gender and water network for effective water management.
A gender and water network.
Right.
Men and women combined. What is that agenda? Gender, you said it?
Yes.
Right. I got the impression you're talking about gender balance or something like that.
No, it's more in terms of looking at the role gender has to play in water management. And it has been well documented that gender does play a very important role
For example?
in water management, especially in developing countries, where the women in communities are really the lead of the household in terms of managing the water. They are the ones who bring the water to the household, especially in places that do not have piped water supply, or when they have to access water from standpipes. I don't consider myself a gender expert. There are other people in the team who are gender experts, so I'm not really qualified to comment or elucidate on my point here, but it is something that is being investigated in this project.
It's pretty interesting that much of development today seems to focus to some extent on gender balance. And sometimes, I ask the question, why is it important? And here you're giving a clear definition that women perhaps lead the household and therefore may be utilizing water the most. Does this program also focuses on conservation?
It's a project on integrated water management, so quantity and quality are an integral part of it, and conservation definitely is. It's source water protection, and that's where you begin. You start from at the source and you go all the way to the tap.
Look, if I come back to you, when this program is over, Grenada would have a map where it can identify all the main water areas, the secondary, and even those that are perhaps at a 4th and 5th level.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, actually, at the moment, the things that we have inside the system is the map not only related of the features, not related only to water, but also parishes, also topographic map of Grenada, but also the things that are related to water, like stream flow measurement stations, like meteorological stations. But I have to tell you something else that I discovered during the weekend, since I came from a country in which it's the middle of the winter. I wanted to go to the beach. And then I was trying to figure out, because I got this booklet about Grenada and about the most beautiful beaches in Grenada, and I found out that there is a beach called BBC Beach, and I could not find the beach on the map. Then I was sitting there in our apartment thinking, how should I get there? And actually I opened my laptop and I used my own software. And the BBC Beach, I discovered that there is another name for that, Morne Rouge Beach. And I found the beach by using my software, which is a water-related software, but also extend the possibility of using this kind of thing. Actually, it's it can be used as an informative software for wide public, including the beaches, as I tested it by myself on Saturday.
And it worked.
And it works, of course. Hopefully, I found the beach, and I really enjoyed, because in the booklet it was written that the sand is silky and the water is shallow. Both things are right.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with Jim Joseph, but glad to know that you have found some time to enjoy the beach?
Absolutely. That's something that I have to do when coming to the Caribbean region. The average daily temperature at my place right now is -4. So imagine that. I mean, on the way back, I will have to get a lot of clothes out of my luggage to be able to support that temperature when I get back home.
So you live in Yugoslavia? You live in Serbia?
Yeah.
You live in Serbia?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I certainly hope that you will find the time sometime in the future to come back here.
Thank you very much. I will be glad to have that kind of opportunity.
Good. When we come back in a moment, we'll be joined by Jimmy Joseph. He's from St. Lucia, so we wouldn't need to have any problems with his name, and he will give us his take on the water management project, which is being funded by CEDA and being coordinated by the Grenada Ministry of Agriculture.
You have a right. You have a responsibility to protect what is ours. Stop beach sand mining. Protect our beaches and preserve what is natural. As of December 31st, the government will no longer allow beach sand mining.
And this government is committed to put a halt to it immediately.
Quarry sand is the perfect alternative to beach sand. Quarry sand is environmentally friendly. It applies flawlessly to any surface, and quarry sand is readily available and affordable from the folks who know aggregate.
Which is the whole idea about using aggregate in concrete. Make it economical, gives the concrete more volume stability, and it reduces heat.
Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation has the solution to the preservation of our environment. Quarry sand is the answer. Contact the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation, Monrush, St. George's, 4403-3686, and protect our environment.
We now joined by Jimmy Joseph. He's from St. Lucia and he's a consultant for the project. And Jimmy, what a pleasure it is to have you in Grenada, and so far so good?
It's going excellent. We just, in fact, we are in the process of completing the final day of our workshop. And the participants are really excited about this initiative, and I was amazed at their enthusiasm and the depth at which they're able to grasp this information, and the desire to take this to a new level and to see it work for the people of Grenada. So we're just amazed and just thrilled of the success of this mission.
Specifically, what are you providing to the team?
I'm a software developer, and actually my first contact with Dejan, the other developer, was on a similar project for St. Lucia, where I was the national consultant for the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, and I was commissioned to develop a national water database for St. Lucia. And I teamed up with Dejan, and after the project was launched in St. Lucia, I was contacted by the government of Jamaica to undergo a similar initiative in Jamaica, and this was done successfully. And coming out of that, we're now in Grenada. So it's my involvement in this project is I'm sort of becoming the regional representative for WebMap, which is the name of the software, and so far I'm excited and I'm really happy to be able to provide this service for the government of Grenada, because the software is now at an advanced stage of development, and actually Grenada has some of the features in the application that does not exist anywhere in the world. And we actually launched this, and actually last week we had a regional workshop, and we're able to demo the application to the other partners in the Caribbean region, and they were amazed at the capabilities of the software that was non-existent before. So hats off to the government of Grenada.
Well, these young guys who are doing the camera work for us, pretty smart in that area, but there's some people like me who may not be that smart. So give us some sense that we can have a great appreciation for what you're saying, the value of that software, the information it will contain, and the usefulness of it.
Okay. One of the amazing things about this piece of technology is that it is affordable and available to anybody who has a computer and access to the internet. The power of this application and the amazing thing behind this application is that all you need is a browser, a web browser, and if you could go on the internet and type look for your mail in Hotmail or go to Google, you can get access to this. So there's no installation. All we need to give you is the web address, and with the proper login ID and password, you have access to the system. The beauty about the system is that it incorporates both GIS technology that's available in some of the high-end pieces of software that you'd pay thousands, probably millions of dollars for, and it makes it available on a browser. So for example, on the map you have a map of Grenada And on that map, you have objects that you can click on and display information, just like you would see in Google Earth. And some of your users may be familiar with Google Earth, where you actually have a map of the world and you can zoom in, zoom out, you can actually see your house. So this software gives you the ability to look at water-related data using an interface such as Google Earth, and to give you the ability to zoom in, zoom out, sort of like onion skins, to put different layers on top of each other, and to be able to see the reference between one layer and another, and also to be able to display that information and to be able to see the data related to that information. So it's a powerful tool that can be used by the layman, and also it can be used by experts in various fields to be able to do analysis. The whole purpose behind the development of this application was that, and it's a problem that's not only in Grenada but in almost every country, where you have people collecting data in various organizations or departments or agencies, and nobody knows who has what. So this database provides a sort of medium whereby all that data can be sort of amalgamated and put in one central repository, and anybody who needs to get access to that data can go to one place or one source and view that information. Of course, you know how it is if you have to get information. You normally have to write a letter, wait for approval, send it to an agency, sit on somebody's desk. But with that technology, within a few seconds, you have access to that information just by clicking with a mouse. So that's the beauty about this application, and it's really exciting.
Well, I think he has given a vivid description of a vivid picture to our viewers and to these young ones who I know have the skills to tap into what you have just said. And as we come to the end of this chat, Apurva, McGill University, is it a project that they have, the Caribbean requested, or is it a project that the university thought it can experiment? Or?
Well, I think the original idea came many years ago, years before even I came to McGill as a student. And it was a concept by the current Dean of the Faculty of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, Chandra Madrimuru, who is originally Guyanese. And he, along with some other partners from Grenada, from Barbados, Jamaica, and Guyana, came up with the original proposal, which I think went through several stages of evolution before its final form was approved and funded by CEDA. And we also have several other regional partners, institutions such as the FAO, the Caribbean Environmental Health Institute, and some other regional organizations. The OECS is involved. Some gender organizations are involved as well.
Well, we certainly want to thank you, gentlemen, and I'm sure that at the end of it, Grenada will be better off. Agriculture, which is certainly becoming a mainstay of Grenada's economy again. At the end of it, I could see, based on what you have said, it will certainly be involved in utilizing the technology that is available to the world. And we want to thank you guys.
Thank you.
For
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
The opportunity. And our friend who was with us earlier, Dejan, Lekic, we also want to thank you. This is the GIS Channel 12. Thanks for joining us.